Hey there, it's good to see you. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Man, it's High Value DMD. We're going to be talking about the rat race, financial independence, financial literacy, retiring early. You know how it goes. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get a video out to you guys yesterday. My folks came in for the weekend and I have a week off this week. I'm trying to enjoy every single bit of it. I'll go back on trauma call essentially the day I get back next Friday. Man, I want to talk a little about a guy I know that's also with me in the rat race, okay? I've known this individual since dental school, and I've got a couple of interesting stories and developments to talk to you guys about him. So he's a dentist. He graduated with me, and we were in the same class. He's from New England, right? So he's up there trying to figure it out, dude. He doesn't know which way is upside down. He doesn't know how to find his rear end with a rear end map if he were to have one. He's just a guy trying to figure it out. He's got a boatload of student loans. He's got a mortgage. He leased a truck. Pretty, a reasonable move. But you know how it goes, man. He's just trying to make it. He's got a girl. He's gonna get married next year out in the Dominican. Dude, he's just flying by the seat of his pants. And one thing that he's trying to do is he's trying to enjoy where he's at. So he's reached a certain threshold of success that he always dreamed about when he was younger. He always dreamed about having a house, being a dentist, essentially being in the job that he wanted to be in, having the woman, right? And most importantly, having the truck. Yeah, you heard that right. In that order, essentially even more important than the woman was the truck, man. He always wanted a Chevrolet Silverado that he could climb in the cab and put his hand on the steering wheel and know that this is mine. This is mine. I bought this. This is 100% mine. There's no sharing. There's no borrowing. There's no, this is, my parents bought this for me, but so it's sort of mine, but it's really kind of theirs, spiritually still theirs. No. He's got the truck, man. He's got the Chevrolet Silverado. It's black. It's got some good wheels on it. It's four-wheel drive. It's his. And so he's made it to a certain degree. He's got all these other responsibilities he's got to get taken care of, man. He's got to be thinking about these debts and all of this, and he's wanting to open a practice because that's how you ultimately do the fricking in life. Man, I talked about this briefly, but you're either getting fricked or you're doing the fricking, okay? And right now he's getting fricked up, and he's an employee. He's getting some good experience, but you need to open your own practice, man. That's the direction you need to go. It's even harder nowadays to do that for a variety of reasons. But regardless, he's trying to juggle all these things, homeowner, and he's got all these debts. But so he's reached a certain level in life where he's sitting there and thinking, you know what? I need to really just enjoy where I'm at, dude. Yeah, there's a lot of challenges ahead. There's a lot I need to accomplish, but I have arrived at this state that I had dreamed about for years. And so he's there, man. He's there. And so that's something to think about. He just turned 30 yesterday. Man, he rolled over the big 3-0, 3 decades of life. And that is something to really sit and ponder about and to vacillate about, to consider, man. At this stage of life in 30, man, a lot of people, they don't have any grandparents at all. He's still got some grandparents around. I have still some grandparents around as well. Super lucky, man. A lot of people don't. But at this point, you might have one grandparent, if any. Your parents are getting older, and you're starting to see this happen around you, and you're really starting to feel human. You're starting to feel vulnerable. He and I were talking the other day, and we've just been reflecting on things that we wouldn't have reflected on in college, man. I've been thinking more about dying, right? So at 30 years old, essentially you're halfway done. Let's be honest. You're halfway done. Most 60-year-olds, their health just is not good enough to be able to. It's not worth a dang at 60. So you're 30 and you're like, man, my youth is like fading fast. I'm starting to notice that my cuts on my arm are healing slower. It's that type of mentality. And you're thinking, dude, I need to do some stuff. It's almost like I would say you almost have a midlife crisis at 30 because your life that's worth living is passing you by. It's passing you by. And you man, if you see somebody in the news that dies at 35, that hits you way harder because you're like, dude, how long do I have left? Like, how much longer do I really have left, man? You really start to think about your humanity, and now you're not gonna live forever. Some deep stuff, man. So he turned 30. He had this big party, neighborhood party, man. I visited him up there, and it's cool. All the neighbors up there, they get together, and they party, and it's something like I've not experienced really. It's very unique to have a close-knit culture up there. But I'm sure not one single drop of alcohol was partaken at this event. I'm sure everybody was 100% sober of mind. Everybody was acting completely professional, and yeah, I'm sure. Man, 30 years old. 30 years old, dude. He told me he has a patient in his practice, not his practice, but the one he works at. He's an associate. And his patient is a boomer, and he has a Corvette. Let's start going back into the rat race stuff here. He has a Corvette, and every time he comes into the office, man, he talks to my buddy, and he says something that's so completely ridiculous. Now, from the outside, a dentist, you see, oh man, a dentist, they're loaded, they've got it moving and shaking, man. But if you understand the state of how things are with debt and how expensive houses are, you wouldn't say this. But coming from a boomer's perspective, where he saw his young dentist, or his dentist he had for whatever 40 years, how they just literally had like a mansion and a lake house and, you know, all this stuff just like almost right off the bat. They were able to open a practice right off the bat. He's coming with that frame of reference, and he's driving himself a Corvette to his office, and he's asking my friend, or he's basically saying, man, why don't you have a Lambo? You would look really good in a Lambo. I'm surprised you don't have one already. So for him to say that to my buddy, who's got all these loans and responsibilities, he's just turned over the age of 30, and he just was able to lease a truck. Man, that was the biggest thing in his life, pretty much. That's a huge deal for young guys just growing up. They look forward to the truck. And sure, I'm sure we've all oogled over sports cars and things. We want those things for sure, but within reach, within like a practical framework, a Chevrolet Silverado 4x4, clean, just a clean truck. Now that is, man, you've made it. But then, so I'm sure he's running behind, he's running all around the office trying to juggle assistants and juggle patients, and he comes over to do the exam or to do a filling, and to be met with, why don't you have a Lambo yet? A Lambo! You should have a Lamborghini, dude. You look good. You know, I'm sure he's thinking, this guy's rich. You know, he's a dentist, man. He's rich. He should be going down to the dealership today. I can only imagine how the wind would just get taken out of you, dude. This boomer has no grasp on reality, what you're going through. You know, like, I understand not everybody's gonna know how dentists work, or what debt they have, or what income they could realistically expect at year 1, at year 2, at year 5, whatever. I understand the disconnect with that. But regardless, dude, come on, let's be realistic. Like, you there's like no young people around that can afford a Lamborghini, right? Okay, I guess in theory I could go get one right now and I could make the payments and the I could, but literally that'd be I mean it'd be what, 4 grand a month at least. It's just so unrealistic. It's hilarious that somebody would suggest that when there's all these other things to be concerned about, man. Like, hey, dude, like, hey, boomer, we actually want to be able to retire one day. A lot of you boomers, you guys just have like infinity number of houses that you've inherited or bought that were 50 cents on the dollar or whatever. You guys are set. You have everything set aside. My dad, for instance, I'm so happy for him. So happy. He just started drawing Social Security. He's getting $2,400 a month, and he's still got all these other things going for him. He's got a business that he runs, and he's got his house. He's got some stuff. Over his life, he's accumulated some stuff. So he's good, man. That $2,400 every month, that's just gravy. He's doing great. He's fine. He's comfortable. And even he's told to me a couple times, he's like, man, if I were you, I'd be going down to the dealership and I'd just go and get something. I mean, I would get something. And he's lived through tougher years than me. He lived through the Jimmy Carter oil, like when oil was super expensive, when home mortgages were 15%, all of these things, man. And so to him, he's just like, just go do it. Go reward yourself. You worked so hard to get to this point. The thing is, man, us younger folks, we grew up being able to, on an iPhone, get my first introduction to stocks was the app called Robinhood. Man, so I remember getting Robinhood when I was 22, and I didn't have hardly any money. Didn't have any money to invest. I do now. Okay, but I had the app Robinhood, and I saw these numbers on a screen, and I see stocks and Microsoft and whatever, and I managed to put in $1,000 in Microsoft when it was like, I don't know, $100, and it's worth more now, like triple, I guess. Maybe I didn't have that much in. I don't know. Point is, like, we know what this stuff is. Not saying every young person is tracking on the financial independence, rat race stuff, but we're aware. Like, it's more common knowledge to understand a stock, or at least know how to go get one. So with that knowledge, and YouTube, all of the knowledge on YouTube talking about silver and all this, like how world events affect the stock market, dude, we don't want to go piss our money away. Like, my buddy working in private practice, you really think he's going to go get a Lamborghini? Like, do you actually think he's going to go do something like that? When he knows the time value of his money. Sure, I understand rewarding yourself, maybe getting something more practical. I don't know, like a used Lexus sedan or a Lexus LC 500. Those are sweet, man. They're expensive. They're sure not a Lambo expensive, and they're going to be reliable. Man, that would be a cool car. Sure, I understand that after a while, but dude, I don't even have kids yet, man. He doesn't have kids either. We're thinking about kids down the road, and we're thinking about how we can maybe make them better. That's the thing, too. A lot of us are thinking long term about our lineage, about our bloodline, dude. We're not thinking just like right here, tunnel vision, momentary fleeting pleasure and joy. Dude, we're thinking about the long game here. We're thinking about our civilization and the people that live next to us, and who we want to live around in our culture. Rather than a Lambo or a Ferrari. Right? Oh, go get yourself a Lambo. It's honest. It's so preposterous when you really say it out loud and you think about it. It's so ridiculous. Clearly, to say that you don't know anything about money, or heck, maybe you are just completely loaded with cash. I don't know. But bottom line is, the young bucks like us, we still have a ways to go, dude. we've got a lot of dues to pay. And don't get me wrong, I want a C8 Corvette convertible. I want some stuff really bad some days. But I also think, man, instead of that $1,200 a month car payment for a Chevrolet Corvette, maybe I want to stack some silver away. Maybe I want to buy some extra SpaceX. Man, the SpaceX stock right here. Everything Elon Musk seems to touch turns to gold. Dude, what if space flight becomes a huge thing through SpaceX, and then this is like the next Amazon or Apple? What if it's worth 100 times what I put in now? That's how we're thinking. That's how you get out of the rat race. Right there. That's how you're able to go live your life on your own terms at a decent age, rather than being 70, being a Walmart greeter, having to squandered your money away, and you're having to just pick up the pieces at the end for pennies to make ends meet. Man, there's a lot to consider. You turn 30, and the rat race only becomes more real in your mind. You turn 30 and you become human. You think, man, double-edged sword, because, man, how much longer do I have? It could be 3 years, or it could be 50 more years. And I don't want to be toiling away for the next 50 years. It's a nice day out. It's Sunday. Man, I'll make sure to get a video in next Saturday, because I'll have some time off this week to make them. But soon I'm going to be going back to the hospital. I was on a different rotation, a lighter rotation, and I'm going back to the hospital. And guys, I'm nervous. It's tough going, and I've got some nerves going. All right, to tell you the truth, because it's more high pressure now that I'm more into this program. All the mentors of the program, the staff of the program, they're looking to see who's the weak link, who's the weak resident, and I've got to turn it on. I've got to turn it on and show that I'm not the weak link, that I'm strong. Because let me tell you something, in these academic situations, in these environments, people just like to mess with you. They like to mess with you and screw with you if they know that you're not the strong candidate. If they sense that, man, if you just have a bad day, a bad set of cards drawn to you, if you just don't know the questions for that day, and then you have a bad impression made, and then the whole rest of the time in the 4 years, it's just not fun. So my goal this next month, or it's not, essentially this phase, is to make a positive, strong impression on my staff. And I'm going to be back into some trauma call. Dude, my co-resident, he recently had somebody died from necrotizing fasciitis. They died. They coded on them right there in the hospital. And so the reality is, having to deal with that, having to deal with human suffering and people dying right in front of me, that's tough, man. It's tough, and it wears on you. And so going back into this next month, it's going to be a big month for me. This next phase, it's like mid-August, or late August to late September. So that's on my mind. And so, hey, thanks for tuning in. I hope I earned your subscription. I hope I earned your like, and I hope I earned your comment. Let me know what you think below, guys. Until next time.